Hey, what's going on? So this time I'm going to do more terrain work. And last time I got it so that the terrain continues on. Um, I say infinitely, but it's not really true. It tiles and it loops basically. It loops in an infinite direction, but it doesn't really look so good because the texture isn't updating with it. It's just getting dragged along with the borders of the terrain. So that's my goal, and I got some bug with the normals too. The normals are all jacked up, but yeah. So I'm gonna clean up a couple things and work on making the terrain's texture update dynamically as well. So I have this update terrain function that I made last time, and and most of the code here was taken from here, so I don't need to do it twice. So I'm going to update this function. I'm gonna change this function around a little bit to take in a couple of things. Actually, just probably one thing. So it's going to take in a float pointer for the terrain verts, and it'll just fill it out there for you so you can get it back. And it's not going to do this. All it's going to do is update the vertices of the terrain, and it's going to be up to whoever calls this function to actually decide if they want to update the mesh or not. Because I might want to update the vertices, but not the mesh at some point. So yeah, that means I don't need to do that. Okay, so what I'm calling that function, actually, before I call that function, or I'm going to call that function here instead of doing all of this. And then for now, I'm going to have it just pass in the temp memory buffer for the game state, and I think I have to cast that to a float pointer. So that would mean here has to also be state temp storage. Temp memory buffer. Yeah, that should be it. So, oh, I think I am calling that function again here as well. So I need to also pass in this. Okay, I need to cast that as well there. Ooh, okay, let's see if that works. Oh no, it compiled, that's scary. And it still works, all right. That doesn't seem right, but it worked. Okay, cool, so that means I should be able to get rid of all this stuff here. And you as well. So here, where I'm setting the pixel, the texture of the terrain, I don't want to do it that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to store the pixels in the terrain struct here, for now at least. So it's going to be 256 by 256 by 4. And I promise someday in the distant future, I'm going to get rid of all these hard-coded numbers, but that day is not today. So when I'm updating the terrain, so here I'm going to also update the pixels, the textures, yeah, that thing. So how do I do that? So first I need to calculate an index into the buffer. So index, so that's I times 256 times 4, because there's 4 pixels per, and then plus j, and I'm doing 4 pixels per every iteration of this loop, so that's j times 4. And I'm pretty sure these parentheses here are meaningless, but just to keep it straight in my brain, I want to keep that there. All right, so now we can say that the states, oh, I have the terrain here. Why am I accessing it this way here? Okay, so the terrain's pixels index plus 0 is equal to 255. All right, so that compiles, and that means that I should now be able to, instead of doing this, I'm going to say from data, data is the terrain's pixels. It's 256 by 256 with 4 bytes per pixel. Let's see if I get a white terrain now. I do get a white terrain. Okay, so now if I keep walking, it's going to continue to be white. It should at least. But it should at least look more like it's, whoa, what's going on? It's not updating at all. What did I break? Oh, you know what's going on? Wait, that's there, but this does need to be fixed. It's weird, but yeah, this shouldn't be J anymore. This should be the position X, and then all these I should be position dot Y. But oh, I was negating it, wasn't I? Yeah, I don't need to do that anymore. What the heck is going on? I broke something trying to do this texture thing. I don't know what happened. Oh wait. Oh, I know what's going on. I knew this was gonna haunt me one day. This is gotta be Z, not Y. Okay, so this is all gonna be put back. The terrain still wasn't updating. Yeah, I'm not. Something's not right when I'm calling this method from down here. If length is greater than update terrain here. Oh, duh. Yeah. I now need to say that the states OS functions dot update texture mesh vertices with the address of the state's terrains mesh. And then that's going to be F32 state storage dot memory buffer. And the size of that is, I don't know, I'm just going to calculate it here. 256 by 256 times 8 times size of a float. There we go. All right, so let's make this texture a little bit more pleasing to look at. And when I say a little bit, I emphasize that very little bit. So, all right, let me do this here. I'll make some floats for the R. Oops, that's not R, that's an R. The R, the G, and the B. And these will just be between 0 and 1, and when I go to actually calculate the color here, I will just multiply it by 255. So just to test that this is working, if I set the blue to 1, then should get an all blue terrain. Yeah, okay. So now what if I just set the blue to this? Let me pull this out here. Call this YP. So if I just set that to YP, then we get some dynamic blue going on here. So it should be the darker, or the lower the terrain, the darker the blue, but that's kind of hard to tell. This specific terrain is not very up and down. I don't know what the word is. I definitely need to figure out, make a way to calculate noise with a different seed better than just coming through the code and hard coding it, but it's fine. How's this look? I don't know, still looks kind of flat. They all look flat. Ooh. I guess they just look flat because it's all the same color basically, but I don't know, I'll stick with that for now. And then let's see. Okay, but I really don't want that. I want it to be, let me see here. Try to graph this out real quick. All right, so when x is 0, I want blue to be maximum. So like the very bottom, I want blue. But then in the middle, I want no blue because I want it to be green. But then at the top, I want it to be white, which requires blue. So something like that. And I could do the math, figure out the formula for that equation. I don't want to though. Let me see, is there a parabola solver? This looks complicated. This looks more my forte here. Let's see, so if I put x at 0, I want y to be 1. 0.5, I want y to be 0. And then at x is 1, I want y to be 1. There it is. Okay. All right, so that is, what was that again? 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. So 4 times yp times yp minus 4 times yp plus 1. So if I run that, it's all black. That did not work at all. Is it parentheses? It was minus, right? Yeah. Why is my math so broken? I don't know. I'm way overthinking this, and this isn't even what I wanted to work on today. So let me just put it at something that I can do. Let me see. Well, the red will be easy. That's like at 0.5. I don't want anything less than 0.5, but at 0.5, I just want it to go linearly up. So that's what 1, 2, 1, 2x minus 1. So 2 times yp minus 1. But then I don't want that to go below 0, so I want the maximum of that. Of 0 here for that. So what does that look like? Okay, yeah, that's what I would expect. So red just only at the top. And then green, I'm just gonna make it go linearly from lowest to highest. And my blue's still broken. I don't know what's wrong with that. Yeah, it gets lighter at the top there. So if I just get the blue working, I don't know why this formula is not working here. Why is this equation lied to me? Unless I'm not putting it in right. 4 times x squared minus 4x plus 1. That's x squared. That's 4 times that. Minus 4x plus 1. Let me see if yp is, oops, go away. Yp is 0.5. So 4 times 0.5 times 0.5. And that's minus 4 times 0.5. 1 minus, yeah, negative 1 plus 1 is 0. So that's right. What about 0.25? So 4 times 0.25 times 0.25 minus 4 times 0.25 plus 1, about 0.25 is exactly what I would expect it to be. So why is that not working? Let me do one more. 0.75 times 0.75 minus 4 times 0.75 plus 1. Yeah, so this formula is right, but it's not coming out right there. It's just always really low. What if I just make that yp? Or what if I just make this the opposite of what red was? I just say it's the maximum of no wait 0.5 2 times yp. This will be plus 1, right? Hold on. No. So at 0 to 0.5, I want 1. No, that's not right. I want the inverse of that. Whatever, I'm just going to do some alien landscape for now. There we go, that's kind of exactly what I wanted, but not really, but close enough. Okay, so there we have another terrain, or another texture that's not following the terrain. So that's my goal. That's really all I wanted to get done today. I got kind of sidetracked here, going down color schemes and stuff. But yeah, so what do I want to do? Yeah, so I need to figure out how to update the pixels inside of a texture. But I think it's just as simple as mapping it, just like I do with the buffers. So here, when I create a texture 2D, I'm going to create a function here, static void update texture 2D pixels. And we'll take in a texture 2D pointer, a U8 pointer for the pixels, and then a U32 for the data size. So I'm just going to copy all of this because I'm pretty sure, like I'm 90% sure it's the same thing, or same principle at least. I just got to figure out how to get the actual texture. All right, so this is going to be the mapped resource. So I'll call this text data. So I want to map. So this is where I got to get the resource. This is going to be a big question mark here. I don't know about that. And then the address of text data. And then text data, this will have to be a U8 pointer. I'll call this TDAT. And this is also a U8 pointer. And then eventually have to unmap this. So I think it's just these two things. All right, and then here, well, okay, yeah, so I got to copy over the data, but let me figure out this doohickey first. So my texture, actually there it is. So my texture is in a resource view, but I'm hoping that using this resource view, I can actually get the texture data from that. Okay, so this resource view, only function it has is get descriptor, but it does inherit from view. So if we go to view, oh sweet, we can get the resource, which I think is exactly what I want. So I need one of these D3D11 resources. Call this just res. So then I need to call this function off this thing here, something like that. Okay, so I'm casting it to a single pointer. It's called texture. I don't need the address. So I'm casting this texture. Wait, and so that's going to be a pointer there. And then using that pointer, I'm going to call get resource. There it is. Awesome. And then I'm going to pass in the address of res, and that should work. And then I should be able to replace that with res and res. Yeah, so then here all I need to do is copy that data from here to here. So I'm just going to use memcopy. I should have been using this the whole time. I think it's probably faster than anything I was doing before. But I just like to do things myself. So the destination is TDAT, and the source is pixels, and the size is data size. Okay, we got errors. Missing 204. Oh. 203. Oh yeah, so I want to cast that to a text. Wait, hold on. Is that how I do it? Must point to a class. Okay, so this is what I want to cast to the resource view. This whole thing right here. So I don't know how it wants me to do that. Missing closing parenthesis before constant. What about that? That's definitely not going to work. Missing closing. Okay, I don't remember how the syntax for this is supposed to go, but I want to cast this whole thing to that. Why are you being so difficult? Oh wait, do I need the address of it then? Let me put this back in parentheses. I'm pretty sure I want to put this here like that. Here. No, it's not working. What if I don't put any parentheses? Then it says left of get resource must point to a class, struct, union, or generic type. But then if I take off that, how's that? Still not happy. Dot get resource. Yeah, so it should be an arrow. And then this texture. The only thing it has is a texture, which in this case is being cast to a shader resource view. Unless it's got to go here. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, syntax errors. Yeah, of course, that doesn't go there, but it would make sense to go here. Pretty sure that's how you would do it, right? This thing's semicolon, constant. Oh wait, I do have a problem here though. Wait. All right, there we go. Okay, I think that's all my problem was. And then that should be unmap. There we go. All right. No, now it's back to this complaint here. Oh, it's commas. Just open your eyes. There we go. All right, finally it stopped complaining. So I don't know if this is all gonna work or not, but let's try. Oh wait, so yeah, in order to call that function, and I really don't like the way I'm doing this, but I'm gonna keep doing it this way. I'm gonna pass that function over to the game with my OS functions. Update texture 2D pixels. So it takes a texture 2D pointer, takes a U8 pointer for the pixels, and then a U32 for the data size. Then over here, I'm going to say update texture 2D pixels equals the address of update. That one, there we go. All right, still compiles, still runs. Whoa, okay, there we go. All right, so the texture is obviously not updating, but it should, hopefully, I don't know, when I call it here. Oops, hold on. So I want the address of the game states terrain.mesh.texture. And then I'm going to send in the states terrain's pixels, and the size is, y'all know by now. All right. Just don't set my computer on fire when this crashes. And it definitely crashed. All right, why did that crash? Let's debug it. Oh. Mem copy, what? Okay, so it didn't like trying to write to that buffer. Let me double check this. That is a good chance that that is a problem. What is that again? Map. So the D311 map probably want either write or write discard. Writing previous class discard and the source must be discarded. Class right. Yeah, I'm gonna try write discard. Oh man, I still have a W. Okay, take two. Oh, hey, it worked. Yeah, so the terrain updates, but the texture stays consistent with the terrain. And so now that looks a lot better, a lot more like infinite terrain at least. Oh my goodness, wow. That was surprisingly easier than I thought. I thought I was going to be fighting with the documentation a lot more than that. Cool. All right, I'm happy with that. Let me, I think that's all I'm going to do. That's all I really wanted to do. I thought that was going to take a lot longer. Oh, right. I'm going to go ahead and cross that off for now. Still got a lot more work to do, but that's good for now. No, I'm going to put that back. It's not really, it's just like prototype at best. Alright, I don't know if any of this other stuff. You know, I could spend some time trying to figure out this stupid skybox glitch. This one right here. So if I move the mouse, it stops. But then when I go to debug mode and then come back from debug mode, it starts all over again. So what happened? Let me figure out when I move my mouse, what happens if that fixes it. Mouse move. So it gets the cursor. But it's only the skybox that's doing it. So let me take a look at the skybox renderer. So the only thing different is it's only multiplying the camera's projection. Oh, you know, I bet you this function is broken. Turning the matrix 4. No, not that function. That one's fine. What was the other one? Oh, yeah, because two instances. Yeah, okay, so this is the only time look at, and it's only in game playing mode that I call look at. And so I bet you the problem is there. Oh, that's not even in the math, it's in graphics utilities. This one, that's the problem, I believe. Matrix to quaternion. So the other one, not quaternion to matrix, but the inverse of that. Because yeah, I think I copied and pasted that directly off some website. And it seems incomplete to me now that I think about it. Because, yeah, what if this is negative? That's going to be a problem. What website did I get this from? Conversion quaternion to matrix. Wait, which one am I doing? Matrix to quaternion. I thought I got it from like a more, oh yeah, I think I got it from here. In fact, that looks exactly like the code I wrote, so that's probably where I got it from. But then should have kept reading because yeah, it talks about, yeah, above should work assuming that the function inside the square root is positive, right? That's exactly what I was saying. So here's the whole thing. Yeah, so anyway, my function's definitely not complete here. I need to do some stuff before the square root here, according to these people. And I don't know, I'm reluctant to just copy and paste more code. I really should stop doing that. Try to figure out what the code is actually doing. So yeah, but I'm gonna put here most likely. Least likely. Which one was it? I get those confused. Oh, this one. Matrix 4 2 quaternion. Okay, so that'll give me a clue as to where the problem most likely is. And when I go eventually fix that, I will be able to pinpoint it more efficiently, hopefully. And still got a whole bunch of stuff. And this is just going to keep growing forever until I finish the game. So yeah, that's enough for today, I think. It's Sunday. I'm going to take it easy. So let me save what I got. I'm really actually happy with the texture thing. I thought that was going to take a lot longer. Git commit tech texture updating with terrain. All right, that's saving. I'm out of here. Let me find the button. There it is. Thank you, everybody. See you next time.